Oh, I'm excited for this one, gents. You guys have been asking, and I have been listening. This is a video I've been meaning to do for a little while now. I've been teasing this one for a little while. One of my secret addictions, if you like, my massive shoe collection. I've got to confess, I've got quite a big hoard of shoes really for a guy, so I'm hoping that in this video I'm going to show you all the different ones that I wear on a regular basis, and if you're a guy out there who's struggling to decide what shoes to buy next, what shoes to go with certain outfits, hopefully this video is going to give you some inspiration. In this video I'm going to be showing you my shoes, formal shoes, casual shoes, chucker boots, work shoes, everything basically apart from sports trainers and wellies, which I feel, you know, every guy's probably going to have them to some extent anyway if they need them. They're a bit more situational. And I'm going to link as many of these bad boys in the description as I possibly can. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find all of them, but as many as I can I'll put there so you guys can go and buy the exact ones if that's what you want to do. And before any of you guys say anything, yes, the majority of my shoes at the moment are rubber soled, or at least part rubber and part leather soled. And yes, leather soled shoes may technically be of higher quality in most circumstances. However, where I live, really, with the amount that it really rains here in Stoke-on-Trent in the UK, are they ever going to be practical? No. Also, all the shoes featured in today's video are from Clarks. It's not a sponsored video or anything like that. I just used to work for them, so I had easy access and staff discount. But that's enough chit-chat. Let's get down to business. The first pair of shoes in my collection are these lovely black formal lace-ups. Now these are really smooth, sleek and simple, perfect for formal events. Now in all honesty, I don't wear these that often because I don't find myself needing to wear them that often. I think that every guy, however, should have these in their wardrobe. Because if you're going to a high-class event, maybe a wedding or maybe even a business meeting, you've got to have something appropriate for that situation, and a shoe just like this one is going to be absolutely perfect for that. It's got an elongated toe, but it's not like a spear shape that some of them I see at the moment, but it's still pointy enough to be formal and to make you look that little bit taller too. To be honest, I think that these are probably a bit too formal to ever be worn casually like with jeans that you see in the video. But an example of some shoes that definitely aren't too formal is my next pair, which is these black chucker boots, which I actually use for manual labour work. Now you'll have to excuse the large amount of creasing on these things. They are getting pretty battered, but they've taken an absolute slaughtering over the last couple of months. I wear these to work every single day. A long portion of each of my day is actually spent in a warehouse, to be honest. So considering that I've been smashing them about loads, I've been cycling to work every single day in them for the past couple of months, I think they're still in pretty good condition. The sole is still looking absolutely fantastic, really high quality. Also Gore-Tex as well, which means that these are guaranteed waterproof. They've got that extra waterproof membrane through, so if it's pelting down with rain, my toes don't have to worry. Very functional and hard wearing. We're moving on to some shoes that are a bit more colourful now, a bit of spice, a bit of the tan, fellas. Tan is one of my favourite colours when it comes to footwear, and I've got plenty of options in my collection. The first of which are these beautiful Brogues. These are a bit more of a formal type brogue, and they're actually part of the same range as the black formal shoes that I've shown you earlier. These fit my really narrow feet exceptionally well around the ankle and through the foot. I like the shape of the broguing. It's got a nice curvature to it on the side. They look absolutely beautiful. Now, with it having the broguing and being a tan colour, this is an option that you could wear, you know, with a suit maybe, a bit more formally, but you could also dress them down maybe a bit better than the black shoes. Now, a good alternative, if you didn't want to go for another similar lace-up option again, is maybe a monk strap. The reason that I've got pretty much all lace-up options, well, yes, I've got all lace-up options in my collection, is because my feet are so narrow, really odd sizes. I've got almost 2 sizes difference between each of my feet, which makes it very difficult to really keep anything on that's not a lace-up. But yes, a double monk strap, maybe even with a bit of broguing itself, is always a good option or a good alternative if you didn't want a lace-up version like this. But let's say you just wanted to go out, maybe meet a friend or go on a date. Something like this may seem a little bit formal at first. Well, I have 2 options in my collection of tan brogues. I've got this option here, you can see, a bit more of a matte finish, a bit rounder at the toe, definitely a bit more suited for casual wear. Now these are certainly one of the most versatile shoes in my collection anyway, absolutely great with jeans, whether that be grey coloured jeans, navy coloured jeans, you could even wear them with chinos, really versatile, and that's really what you want from your shoe collection. Now, it's got a very traditional style of broguing on the front. It's got the derby lacing again, which just works well with my skinny feet. It allows me to keep them a bit tighter, but also means that they look slightly more casual in my opinion. These shoes are one of my first choices when it comes to picking shoes to wear on a night out. They've really taken the role of a night out shoe from their predecessors. They're getting a bit battered now, but they still are so comfortable. The most comfortable shoe I own. It's almost like a plain version of the Brogue I've just shown you. Very simple, stylish design. It's almost like a cut-off desert boot, which I'll show you in a moment. But this one is really nice and tight around the ankle for me. Looks a bit more rounded maybe than a couple of the other pointed options. So if you're a guy who doesn't like these really sharper toes, this here I would say is a good reference point. You can see it's not really stabbing pointy, but it's not a square toe either. What I like about these, as well as with several of the other shoes in my collection, is they aren't pointed to the extent where they look like they are sticking out and spearing out of my legs, making my legs look skinnier. These don't stick out too far from my legs, which is going to make my legs look a little bit bigger, considering I'm a guy with really thin legs. Again, due to the colour and design, a very versatile option. You can wear these if you're meeting with friends, maybe going out for a day trip somewhere. Really nice option, comfortable, and it performs well. We're moving on now to its bigger brother, and you can see here we've got the Clarks Original Desert Boot. Now you can really see the similarities between the shoe that I just mentioned and the Desert Boot itself. These are a great option to wear if you want to send out the message, hey, I'm stylish, but I'm not trying to show off too much by wearing anything that's too posh or too swanky. These come in dozens of different colours. My personal preference is this camel leather colour. Really, really versatile. You can match it with loads of different leathers on your watches or your belts as well. Also a very comfortable boot when they fit right, which for the desert boots, to be honest, I'd probably recommend going half a size smaller than normal, maybe even sometimes a full size smaller than you'd normally take, because otherwise they can end up being very baggy and almost flying off your feet. Other good colour choices when it comes to the desert boot might be the black colour. There's a really nice selection of green colours as well, surprisingly. The dark green colours look really good. Also, there's some dark blue colours, which I'd recommend too. But more than anything, I prefer the leather version as opposed to the suede version, because here in England, when it's raining all the time, you want something that's going to perform. And something like this is always going to perform better in the wet than a suede or nubuck. And staying on the theme of these original styles, I've got an option here that you could include normally, but also maybe if you're into streetwear, and that is the Clarks Wallabies. And the thing is, guys, I used to hate these. I used to look at them on the shelf and think, oh my lord, it looks like you're putting a duck on your feet, or it looks like those old school shoes from the 90s, which on the shelf, it still does. But when you put these things on your feet, especially if you're a guy who is skinny like me, the way that they are slightly more squared off at the toe, they just look fantastic. I hated them for years until I got my first pair, and they were so comfortable as well. They've got the big thick crepe sole, which is really nice and comfortable. They've definitely got a certain look about them. But when I put them on with the things that I generally seem to wear, it tends to look good. So I decided, you know what, screw this. I'm getting the other colour, which is the darker brown as well. So I've got two pairs. Got them at a really good price as well. Absolutely worth it. If you like the look of these things, I definitely recommend getting them. I also wear these on nights out as well occasionally. But you know, guys, I can't keep avoiding suede forever, because suede has got its time and place. When it's really hot outside, but you still want to wear boots, something that's leather, heavy, making your feet sweaty might not be appropriate. And that's where these mother chuckers come in. That's right, fellas. Two pairs of trucker boots. Again, it's probably a style crime to a lot of people, but I've decided, you know what, I've found these first of all. Really nice pair of suede trucker boots. Nice slim fit for me. Actually stays on my feet, which is an achievement for most boots. I wanted to get another one in a completely different colour. So, in a sense, if you saw me in these in separate days, you might not even know that they were the same style, but they are able to perform much different functions because they're two massively contrasting colours. My girlfriend absolutely loves me when I wear these. They look so slick. I love this wolf colour. It's sort of like a tan suede, but not quite. Amazingly versatile, partial leather sole as well. Really high performance. I've had these for a few years now, and I really enjoy wearing them. Got them at a really cheap price too. But we've got the wolf suede that looks fantastic with a majority of lighter toned outfits. But then in an outfit such as maybe the one I'm wearing here, we've got a simple white shirt on with a navy bomber jacket. Maybe you want your footwear to match that sort of tone. something like this navy option trucker boot is going to be a great addition to your wardrobe. And we're finally here now, guys, at the full casual stage. And surprisingly, I don't own a pair of white trainers. White trainers or sneakers, whatever you want to call them, wherever you're from, with the only casual shoes I ever had when I was a kid. And I think, to some extent, that's influenced me in not having any at the moment. I think maybe it's made me scared, but what it hasn't made me scared of is trying other colours. Lots of different colours, in fact. I have 3 very similar styled, low-cut, almost like tennis shoe style trainers. I've got a nice pair of navy leather ones, but then I've also got a couple of different styled nubuck ones as well. We've got a nice burgundy colour, which is a really great neutral option these days, and also a black if you want to play it a bit more safe. Inside, these have all got a cork lining as well, so if you're wearing these without socks, this will soak up any sweat and moisture, and they don't smell at all. Each of these designs also has an abrasion resistant sole as well. Now, these here, I have walked miles and miles and miles and miles on these, and the heels are still pretty good on most of them. You can see there's barely anywhere on the sole, even if it is a bit dirty. But the biggest thing when it comes to these for me is the weight, because I've never found a pair of this well-made trainers that are this light before. These are the extra light ones by Clarks, and honestly, I've never found anything that's this light apart from other options, which are these dirt cheap shoes. It feels like you're literally walking barefoot, but you've got all the structural support from a shoe. So even despite not having a white pair of sneakers, I've still got these 3 alternative colours that still give me options with basically any casual outfit. I want to know in the comment section, lads, which are your personal favourites out of my quite large collection of shoes. I have got several other pairs as well. I didn't think they were worth showing you. I don't wear them really that regularly. But out of the ones that I have shown you today, let me know in the section below which was your personal favourite. Which would you like to own maybe as well? And like I mentioned at the start, I'm going to leave links for both the US, UK, maybe even the Indian version of Amazon to as many of these styles of shoes as I can find on the web. So if there's one that you particularly liked, you should hopefully be able to go on there and buy the exact same one that I've got, endorsed by every man. If you enjoyed this video, hopefully you feel like it's given you some style inspiration, some helpful suggestions, then make sure you leave the video a like. And also, if you are new to this channel, you haven't seen it before, what have you been waiting for, lads? Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. I upload 3 times a week, every single week, to do the men's style, grooming, well-being, everything that you need to know to feel like a more attractive guy. And I'll see you on the next video.